you know the drill already. Be patient. Be patient. Patience. We ain't gonna start yet. So don't get your tail feathers all in a twist. Or you're going to wear that banner for a month. Understand? Mister, I got the spotlight on me. Oh. Time to start the show. From the WDWL TV multiplex, live from Grumpy's staff office, and you can see it's empty again. With great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station. The grumpy old man, me, and Mr. I Need a Spotlight, Disco Vulture. Take your bow. Do it right. Look at the camera. No. Why do you keep going at an angle? Straight. There. Oh my God, how hard is that? I hope the spotlight blinds you. Look at that camera. Mister, I Need a Spotlight. Oh, that bird. Greetings, friends. I see who's here first, like usual. Should I think different? How do you like the font in the chat? I changed it again. I can't leave well enough alone. Although this one, I can read it a lot easier. What else did I change? Oh yeah, I kind of rearranged. I put the clock over here, and I put the face plant count, all that over here. And I changed the color up here. Yeah, I just like screwing with things. Yeah, over the years, my son has always constant told me, you could never leave well enough alone. And he also tells me I could fuck up a free lunch, which I probably could, but that's beside the point. What the hell's on my shirt? God damn it. Glue. How the hell did I get glue on my shirt? That's glue. God damn it. Brand new shirt. First time I wore it was yesterday to impress the vascular Doppler technician. She was quite pleasant, I have to say. Very, very few of these technicians, will come out and introduce themselves and talk to you. Most of them are like, come this way, lay down here, shut the fuck up. She come out and she goes, hi, my name is Emma. I was like, my name's Grumpy. She's like, oh. And then I says to her, I says, Emma, that's kind of a name that goes back to the 50s, like when I was born. She said, even if I'd have been a boy, my name was going to be Emma. That's how insistent my mother was on the name Emma. Thank God she wasn't a boy. Could you see going through? Hi, my name's Emma. Almost as bad as naming your boy Sue or. Although, what was that one TV star? Her name was Michael. I was like, what were her parents thinking? There was a TV star back in the day. Her name was Michael. Michael Learned. Michael Learned. I can't remember what program she starred in. I want to say she was a nurse. Michael Learned. God, I can remember some stupid shit at times, but I can go to the goddamn grocery store and forget the fucking shopping list. Yeah, her name was Michael. And then, well, like Stacy Keach. Now, I know Stacy is a unisex name, like Dale. Think back to the 50s, who had the name of Dale? That was on TV. Yeah, that's right, Marion. Think back to the 50s. What program was on TV and one of the stars' name was Dale? You know, Dale was a unisex name before that term was even invented. I can't remember when the term unisex came in, but it wasn't back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Jenny's here. Yeah, that email kind of pissed me off. If I didn't know better, I figure it was one of my subscribers going, "Oh, we're going to screw with him." Damn it. Okay, trivia person. Back in the 50s, TV show. One of the stars' name was Dale. Oh, jeez, come on. You're not that much younger than me. What? 10 years? 15 years? Damn show was in reruns. Matter of fact, there was a fast food restaurant named after the star of the show. No. Jenny, I figured you'd have got it. You're the trivia queen. Come on. No. Roy Rogers. Oh, jeez. What was his wife's name? Dead giveaway now. I grew up hating this fucking name. Because that's all I heard. Dale Evans, Dale Evans, Dale Evans. Every time I get made fun of at school, I come home and say to my mom, "What the hell did you name me this for?" And she liked the name because of Dale Evans. I was like, Did you happen to think that maybe I was going to come out a boy? She didn't care. Now, my father wanted me named after him, and she's like, oh, no, no, no. It ain't happening. So I end up with Dale Evans. I could, there weren't any male stars around at that time named Dale, so I couldn't say, no, it wasn't Dale Evans. So I ended up with the first name of Dale, then I've got my father's first name for my middle name. He ended up, winning some of the battle because he always wanted a junior. Although, in a way, thank God. Because whenever you're a junior, you could be 75 years old and people refer to you, hey, junior. See, my son has my full name, but he's got a Roman numeral, 2. Now, everybody argues I don't have a Roman numeral 1. Well, I'm the first. He's the second. And mainly I got the idea from my buddy who is the 4th. Talk about a confusing family. Yeah, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, all with the same name. But I'll tell you what. All the way through grade school and a little bit into middle school, oh, he loved that Roman numeral. It was a riot. He would come home with school papers, and his name would be this big, and then the Roman numeral would be like this. He wanted to make everybody, oh, I got a 2. But, now, we discovered a problem. A lot of software will not accept a Roman numeral. And there have been more problems because and if it won't accept a Roman numeral, they automatically put junior. There is no legal person junior. It's 2. I. They would try, I'll tell you what, we had more problems, not so much when he was young, once he started working. Because the one place he worked, the insurance company that they were with, their software would not accept 2. So they put junior. Well, when he went to use his medical insurance, the hospital said, where's junior? He said, well, that's me. No, you're 2. Where's junior? That's me. No. He couldn't use his goddamn hospitalization because it said junior. And you would think this day and age, with all the miracles of software, they could get it to accept a Roman numeral. And to this day, now he's going to be 40 in May, there are still certain places where he will put his name in and it bounces it out because it won't take a Roman numeral. We're in year 2025. He is not the first person ever to have a Roman numeral at the end of his name. And then that's the same thing. I will get mail, senior. I am not senior. Because he is not junior. It's been going on for years. There are a lot to this, right at this date and time, there is a lot of places that will not accept the Roman numeral. It's unbelievable. We can communicate with the International Space Station, and they can beam down, TV pictures, but there's software out there that won't accept the Roman numeral. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, I thought that day at the hospital, he was going to go berserk on somebody. I really did. Because the woman kept saying, oh, where's Junior? There is no Junior. Well, your hospitalization says Junior. Your ID says 2. We can't, it wouldn't let it. We ended up getting billed. He ended up getting billed for the goddamn shit. I told him, turn it into your HR department. Let them fuck with it. It's just absolutely ridiculous at this day and age. I mean, Roman numerals go back to the days of Rome. And using a Roman numeral in a name goes back to the days of Rome. But there is some software that will not accept a Roman numeral. Where did we we started with, Michael Learned and Stacy Keach. A woman with a man's name and a man with a woman's name. I always sit back and go, what were parents thinking? Here's the nurse in the delivery room. Oh, look, it's a girl. We'll name her Michael. What? If I was that nurse, I'd go, oh, no, you don't. Although now, Jesus, some of the names, oh. I think the best story I have, when my sister had her first baby, and the hospital she was at, they had 2 patients to a room. And on the other side was a black girl that had a baby. So I'm visiting. And they brought the babies in. And, they wheel the bassinets in. And the girl says to her parents and her boyfriend's parents, they weren't married. She goes, look how wonderful this hospital is. They named the baby for me. And both sets of parents were like, oh, wow. It said, female Smith. They pronounced it Famali. Look, they named the baby Famali. And that name went on the birth certificate. Because the hospital was so nice to name the baby Famali. I had to leave the fucking room. I went down the hall because I was laughing so hard. I could see the stupid girl. But both sets of parents? You would think one of them would have spoke up and, no, that's the sex of the baby. No, they all stood back and went, wow, this hospital is wonderful. Truth. Had I not been standing there, I wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, look, they named the baby Famali. I was like, that poor kid doesn't have a chance in life. With parents and grandparents like that, that kid don't have a chance in life. Famali. Yeah, here's your sign. Yeah. To this day, that story makes me laugh because I can't believe how fucking stupid people could be. Famali. Yeah, here's your sign to all four adults. Here's your sign, and you get a special one, being the birth mother. Famali. Although my old neighbor worked for UH. Okay, Kathy, you know UH, University Hospital. She was telling me about a husband and wife team that were doctors. The husband was a brain surgeon and the wife did microsurgery, like she could attach veins to eyeballs and stuff. Very educated people. They could not think of a name for their baby. Neither one of them. Now, at UH, it was either BG for baby girl or BB for baby boy. That would be on the bassinet. BG Smith, BB Jones, okay? When it came time to leave the hospital, they still had not come up with a name. So on the birth certificate, it was BG. Two outstanding surgeons could not think of a name for their child. So it was BG. Now, what the hospital did is made it BEEGEE so that it just wasn't the two letters BG. And they signed the certificate going, okay, that'll work for us. If I'd have heard that story, I would have said, get me another doctor. I'm not having this one for my surgeon. Thank you very much. BG. BG. Can you imagine going through life, BG? What's your name? BG. How did you get such a weird name? Because my parents couldn't think of a name. So I'm BG. Holy shit. And I mean, the neurosurgeon was head of the goddamn neurosurgery department at UH. Couldn't think of a goddamn name for your kid? You had like 9 fucking months. It wasn't like all of a sudden, whoop, shit, we gotta name this kid. It just never came up. That's what she told my neighbor. You know, for that 9 months, it just never came up. You mean to tell me not one time, like over breakfast coffee, neither one of you said, what are we going to name the kids? You know, we need to have one of each name, boy or girl. Scary. Almost as scary is that idiot woman in Connecticut that kept her stepson prisoner for 20 years in the house, and then they give her bail. Now, it was $300,000, but she made bail. She's out walking the street, and her stepson is sitting there going, how come I was locked up for 20 years and she's still out walking around? They wanted to put her under house arrest and put a GPS locator on her. And the argument in court, finally the judge says, okay, we'll split it in half. I won't give her house arrest, but she's got to wear a GPS. That don't make no difference. She's still out walking around. I really hope when this goes to trial, they find her fucking guilty. Because it's a life sentence. And then they showed the video from the fire. And she's out holding her dog, telling the fireman, oh, my dog is shaking. And then the fireman says, well, who's in the house? My stepson. Oh, where is he? I don't know. But by the way, save my cats. Now, yeah, I would say save my cats, providing everybody else was out of the house. But she was more worried about her poor little dog shaking and her 2 cats. And, oh, yeah, by the way, my stepson's in there somewhere. He weighed 68 pounds. He'd been up there 20 fucking years. And how she was able to make bail, I don't know. But she did. Utterly amazing. Just Almost as bad as today's topic, which I'm sure there's gonna be backlash somewhere. I listen to a multitude of videos. I watch a multitude of interrogations. I like watching interrogations. During the interrogations, 90% of the time, they will play the 911 call. Have you ever listened to some of them stupid ass questions them operators ask? Now, I know they're reading from a script. Who the fuck wrote them stupid questions? Like one last night. That really sticks out. The guy's on the phone. There's a dead body out in front of my house. Are you sure? Well, yes. Well, male or female? Male. Is he breathing? No. You think you could give him CPR? Well, I'm not sure. He's dead. Yeah, but do you know how to do CPR? Well, yes, I know how to do CPR, but he's dead. Well, how do you know he's dead? Believe me, woman, I know he's dead. Are you a medical person? No, I'm not. Then how do you know he's dead? Ma'am, he has a hole between his eyes. I would tend to think he's definitely dead. Which he was. Some of... I end up screaming at the TV. And I'm sure my son and my neighbors are like, oh, he's got dementia. These 911 operators will be asking some of the dumbest ass questions. There's a dead person out in the street. Well, how do you know he's dead? Because a dump truck ran over him twice. He's dead. Could you give him CPR? I don't think so. Why not? Well, his chest is crushed. Well, could you try? Oh. I can understand why people hang up. I would say, hey, lady, I gave you the pertinent information. I'm not going to try CPR. I'm not going to do mouth to mouth because I know this person ain't breathing no more. And they just go on and on and on with the stupid questions. And if you don't answer them, they just keep going. Same question over and over and over until you fucking get pissed off. And say, just send the police. What, do you need medical? No. Are you sure? Yes. How can you be so sure? Because the body's over here and the head's over here. I'm pretty sure we don't need EMS. almost lit the filter. I can literally feel my blood pressure cranking while I'm watching and listening to some of this stupid shit. And I know they're reading from a script. What uneducated person wrote these questions? Was this something that they gave like a third grade class and then they took the best answers and wrote them down? There was one just before I started to prep here. And it was somebody calling in from the scene of an auto accident. And it was quite obvious that the person didn't need medical. And this operator kept asking over and over, "Are you sure? I don't need EMS." "Yes, I'm sure." Mainly because the person had a guardrail splitting his head. And there was one half there and one half there. And the guy kept saying over and over, "We don't need medical." "Are you sure?" "Well, hold on. I'll send you a photo." You want to ask me another question now? I realize that being a 911 operator is probably nerve-wracking. And I'm sure they do extensive training. But do they bother to really listen to the questions they have to ask? I mean, I could see me as a trainee going, "Okay, question number 3, why do we have to ask that?" They already answered number 2 with he's definitely not going to be breathing anymore. Because you have to go 1 through 10. You can't leave any of these out. Yeah, but in question 2, he answered 3, 4, 5, and 6. You have to ask them. It's the job. It just, in this day and age, you would think that all these call centers would really sit down and say, I think we need to rewrite these. No, they just keep using the same stupid ass questions that they started with 20 years ago. Oh, I have to show you something. Not really, but I want to show you something. Something I got today. I need one of these because you know, on the police cars, underneath the doors on the rocker panels, they have the chaser lights, red and blue. Well, I'm building a set. I ordered all the lights. Now, all the wires are very tiny. And I have to solder them all. So I ordered me a illuminated magnifying glass. And it has, like this, 3 different lights. You know, daylight, cool light, warm light. Has a push button, on-off switch, adjustable USB. Now, if you go on eBay, this light sells anywhere between $15 and $30. This exact Temu, $11. The same item on eBay that sells for up to $30. $11. Comes with an adjustable arm. And is it bright? Luckily, you can tone it down. Now watch me destroy the goddamn studio here. Now I got it. It's all mixed in my headphone wires. Gently, gently, gently. I was all set to buy one off eBay. And I had to check my Temu shipment, because I'm always ordering shit from them. And down comes the daily specials. I looked through the daily specials. Yeah. So then I was like, wait a minute. Let me put in illuminated magnifying lamp. And up popped this. And I was like, let me go back to eBay. So I flip-flop back and forth. Looked at the ones on eBay. Looked at this one. eBay, this one. eBay, this one. I said, they're the same goddamn lamp. $11 purchase. I always, look who's here. Peace, Dynamite. Oh, I am hooked. I am hooked. I used to order off of Wish, which was kind of the front runner to Temu, because Wish used to advertise all over the place. Well, I'll tell you what. You talk about Chinese crap. And I saw a commercial one day. Temu. I said, Temu? I said, oh, I'll check it out. I started looking at stuff going, I'm going to order a couple of things just to see if they're Chinese crap. So I ordered, I ordered a couple of these carry cases. Of course, they say good luck. They're supposed to be first aid kits, but they're empty. Now, the bottom is one big and then the top has slots for putting stuff. $1.39. I love them. I've got probably 10 of these. I could think of more things to use these for. For $1.49, and they're not cheap. They're decent. That was the start of my Temu ordering. Since then, I have ordered lots of things. When did I start ordering? I would say a year ago. So, if they were in existence before that, I wasn't aware of them because I was ordering Chinese crap off of Wish. But I'll tell you what, I have gotten some unbelievable deals. Like I was telling everybody the other day, the pillows I got, they say right on them, Hilton Hotel. Of course, they're a little too soft for me. But they're huge, fluffy, and they say right on there, Hilton Hotel. Evidently, Hilton Hotel ordered a few too many pillows. I'm waiting. It's more of a joke. These were from the ones I have. I ordered 2 different sets of pillows. I ordered the Hilton Hotel, and then I ordered these orthopedic pillows. They have kind of a divot for your neck. I love them. What I'll do is, because I like to trade off, maybe I'll put one Hilton pillow and then one orthopedic. I can't sleep on the 2 Hilton ones. They're too soft for me. But they're beautiful. Oh, if these pillows are in a Hilton hotel, then you know they got to be decent. I was going through the pillows, and I see British hotel pillows. And I was joking with Nomad. I was like, what's the difference between an American hotel pillow and a British hotel pillow? Well, they were $11. No. The Hilton pillows were $12 for 2. The British hotel pillows were $8.80 for 2. I ordered them. They were supposed to be here today. Good old FedEx. I won't see them till Monday now. But I wanted to see what's the difference between an American hotel pillow and a British hotel pillow. And of course, you know, they got the phony crest on them to make you think that, oh, they're using these in the castles, you know. But, you know, at that price, if I use them 6 months and throw them away, I'm not pissed off. Why should I go to the Bullseye place and pay $60 for goddamn pillows when they're the same goddamn pillow I ordered off of Temu? Now, see, I need a size 14 sock. You won't find them. 12. That's it. I've already gone through the list of socks because you can't beat the bargain. But a size 12 would be like an ankle sock on me. And I hate those ankle socks. Yeah. Usually I like the ones, over the calf. Now, an unbelievable thing, I call it a variety store because they sell everything. Food, pet products, clothing, dishes, silverware. They sell everything. I never heard of Ben Sherman socks. Who the hell's Ben Sherman? I just happened to spot these one day. 3 pair for $2.99. I said, well, for $1 a pair, I'll try them. Because usually the first time you wash them, a size 14 ends up something that'll fit an infant. So I washed them. They didn't shrink. I was like, oh. Over the calf. Very comfy. I love them. I have since gone up there and bought 3, 6, 9, 12 pair. Besides the 3 that I already had. I love them. But I'll tell you what. I have gotten stuff off of Temu. I have yet to have a bad product. I'll show you the item I carry in my pocket. Mainly because I can carry it in my pocket. It's an emergency flashlight. It is fucking bright. It has a side light. You can set it down. You can dim it down. Then it has red and white flashing lights. I can be an ambulance. Wee-oo, wee-oo. It clips. You can clip it on your hat. You can clip it on your belt. USB-C rechargeable. And it fits very nice in your pocket. And it has a magnet. Well, that's aluminum. Duh. I love it. 80 cents. 80 cents. I liked it so well, I ordered a couple of them, and I gave them to my friends. And I said, here, an emergency flashlight you can carry in your pocket. You won't even feel it in your pocket. $0.90. USB rechargeable. Adjustable. Magnet on the bottom. Well, you can't see where I stuck it, but I love this. I put one, I got 2. I put one in each car. Because I ever need a light, I'll have one. Being magnetic, I could stick it on the hood, stick it on the fender. It's fully adjustable for 90 cents and rechargeable. I love gimmicky shit like this. Something very similar at the Homeless Depot, $5.99. Now, I'm assuming that it's probably identical. I'm not going to open the blister pack, you know, but it looks the same. Why should I pay that price at the Homeless Depot when I can buy it off of Temu? All right, I can't have it today. I'll wait a week. They're pretty good with their shipping. Here we go. I bought this for my other computer. It's one of those ergonomic mooses. You know, fits in the palm of your hand, push buttons over here. Wireless, $3. Works great. Works great. Rechargeable, USB-C. I bought it for my computer on the other desk over here. I love it. I loved it. I'm going to order a couple more because I just love this type of mouse. Good old Temu.com. I'm charging it. I need to plug it back in. There we go. Oh, somebody's at the door again. God, why is it people show up at this time of night? Stand by. Gently. Stay. Goddamn people. Now I feel like an idiot. Now I feel like an idiot. Was my next door neighbor. I gave her one of them flashlights. She brought me over some fresh baked chocolate chip cookies as a thank you. And I said, asshole people. I hope she's not going to watch this. Oh, those cookies smell good, and they're huge. Big, they're not chocolate chip, they're chocolate chunk. Holy shit, you ought to see them. Those, they won't last long. They won't make it till tomorrow, I'll guarantee that. She's always doing stuff like that. I bought her some of them cases. You'd think I gave her $1 million. She was... She brought me over zucchini bread. She's one of them vegetabilitarians. So then I give her a flashlight and she brings me over chocolate chunk cookies. Okay, she wasn't an asshole. Easy on the microphone, idiot. Bacon, you're a little late, though. Yeah, I stomped over to the side door and I whipped the door open. And then I felt like about this big. She goes, "Here's a thank you for the flashlight." Oh. I still feel about this big. Quit coming over so late, damn it. You know, I tell her, yeah, I come right out. I said, you know, I paid less than $1 for that flashlight. It's the thought that counts, you know. She's the one that gave me the RAV4. So, in a way, I kind of feel indebted. So I buy her stuff. Every time I get something neat off of Temu, and I think she can use it, I'll buy them. Believe me, I have spent nowhere what the value of that car is. Although I hope to get it running soon. God, I miss that thing. Good thing we didn't have a deep snow this year. You know, I was looking at that because with the Logitech mic, I had to sign up and I'll get the ads for stuff for Logitech. And I was looking at that with the roller ball. It intrigues me, but Logitech's a little pricey. Although it is kind of neat because you just use your thumb basically. How do you like it? I might have to buy one. Like I need another mouse, but you know, I'm a gimmick person. And that mouse with the roller ball really intrigues me. It really does. I'm almost as bad as my buddy with microphones, you know. He'd see a microphone, he'd buy it. Me, I see shit on Temu and like, I'm going to order that. But I couldn't beat the price for that ergonomic, whatever. Easy on your hand mouse. As a matter of fact, I got it Wednesday. I hooked it to this computer. And I love it. That's why I ordered a couple more. It is so neat. And I would think with the rollerball, it would be even neater. But Logitech stuff's a little pricey. I'm going to have to order a generic rollerball. Some of the stuff, although Logitech, they got too much shit for gamers. I got an ad in an email, was it yesterday, the day before? All kinds of gaming shit. And I'm looking at the prices. Anything that says gaming is outrageous. in price. And, you know, these kids buy this shit. I'm trying to think what the hell was on that. There was a gaming keyboard. Now, how you could play games with a keyboard, I don't know, but they supposedly they have hotkeys or something. You know, $199 for a keyboard. I was like, really? And, you know, kids buy this shit. They snap it up. It's like, oh, look, it's a gaming keyboard, you know. And then there was this desk lamp. And it was like $90. I got this desk lamp off of Temu for $15, and I love it. Adjustable, you know, regular light, cool light, soft light. You can adjust it up and down. I mean, I've got it at the high level because I didn't want it like right here, but I use it for my overhead light. And it's very similar to the goddamn one that Logitech had. Although, you know, they do make quality. Like, you know, Logitech owns Blue, the microphones, Blue. That's the name of the company, Blue. Blue Yeti. I've got several Blue Yeti microphones that my buddy had bought. They are outstanding. They really are. The major problem is I can't get a hanging mount. I like this type of mount on my microphones. They don't make them for those microphones. So they're over in Studio One. I've got 3 or 4. If I wanted to put it on a desk with a desk stand, perfect. I don't really like desk stand microphones. I've used them. I've used them on here. I like this style. I've got one down here. Oh, it's not all put together. But I've got every desk stand you would think of. The Blue Yeti microphones. Now, that other one that I've been using is what they call their Yeti X. It's the top of the line because it's got software built into it, voice changer and that. In older streams, and I mean going back probably like January, I would do a nightly stream with a different voice. And a lot of people said it sounded crappy, you know. But there's like 20 different voices in the software. So if I had that mic plugged in right now, I could go to the software and change my voice. I could sound like fucking Alvin the Chipmunk. I mean, that's one of the voices they've got, Chipmunk. Who wants to sit here and listen to me sound like a chipmunk? But it's a voice built into the mic. When I was using that FM disc jockey, everybody said it had an echo because it was stereo. You notice what mic I went back to. Old Reliable. Mainly because I like the color change. This one I bought for two reasons. One, because it changed colors. And two, it had an excellent write-up in, I can't remember the electronics magazine that I was reading. It got a super 5-star write-up. So I figured the magazine offered 30% discount. I bought it. I'm happy with it. I would give it 5 stars. One of the few microphones I actually bought. The only other one I bought, and Kathy knows which one it is, my golden microphone that I started with 3 years ago. That is over in Studio One. One day I'm going to bring it back and use it over here. Or if I can get the bug worked out over in Studio One, I'm going to do some shows from Studio One because that's where I started over there. And actually, I miss that studio. But that golden microphone, it came as a kit. Came with the mounting arm and all the cables. It was $29 on eBay. I was just starting out. I didn't know how deep I was going to get into this YouTube thing. I needed a microphone. So I bought it. And it worked wonderful. I have no complaint about that cheap-ass microphone. I would still be using it if I didn't get a shitload of microphones from my buddy's wife. You know, sometime, they've said, I've read it many times, cheap electronics are just as good, if not better, than high-end electronics. I was amazed at the quality of that mic. It did the job. And I made the joke when I first got it. Because I don't know if anybody ever listened to Rush Limbaugh. He was quite controversial. Every now and then I would listen to him, but sometime he got so far off the deep end it was pathetic. Well, he had received some Lifetime Achievement Award. You know, a lot of times they give these awards, like, he had cancer and everybody knew he wasn't long for this earth. And, they always shower you with an award. Oh, here you go, Like, why didn't you give me this award 10 years ago, After he received that award, his staff chipped in and bought him a gold-plated microphone. The whole mic. And he used to start his show, I'm Rush Limbaugh broadcasting into my golden microphone. Well, when I bought that one, I did the same thing. I'm broadcasting into my golden microphone. Like anybody gave a shit, Who cares what color the mic is, asshole, So that was one of the reasons I bought that gold, because it came in gold or chrome. And I was like, oh, I'll get the gold one. And a lot of stuff I have, I just bought on a whim. And I'm pretty sure, Kathy, did you go back to my early days when I was sitting in the backyard in a lawn chair with a GoPro? Did you go back that far? I watch him just to sit and fucking laugh. I mean, here I am out in the middle of the backyard in a lawn chair with a GoPro on a tripod doing a YouTube. Although those were all recorded. Those weren't live. Because I would record them, I would take the memory card out of the GoPro and upload it to YouTube. So everything that's out in the backyard was all pre-recorded shit. And then when the cold weather hit is when I started doing some of the in-house were pre-recorded. And I don't know how I got on the live, but I've never done a pre-recorded since. Everything is... But if you go back to the early days, they are hilarious. I watch them and laugh my ass off. I'm like, You're out in a lawn chair in the backyard with a GoPro on a tripod. And I did some where I was driving around the neighborhood. I had the GoPro mounted on a suction cup in the windshield. I'm driving along. I don't know why. I think I wanted to try the GoPro on the suction cup that day. And I went out and drove around the neighborhood, talking to myself. I have progressed, I'll say that. I don't know whether it's for the good or not, but I've progressed. Good old GoPro. Although I will tell you, the real originals, if you go back to like the real first ones, I wasn't sure how everything would work. The camera I'm using is a Chinese knockoff GoPro. When I saw it was pretty decent, I bought a real GoPro. And the amazing thing is, you cannot tell the difference whether I was using the cheap knockoff or I was using the authentic GoPro. That's how good that knockoff was. I still have them. I haven't used them in ages. But I bought the knockoff, and then I bought the GoPro mainly as a backup to the Chinese knockoff. But the amazing thing is, every accessory, and this is how good that they knocked that camera off. Every authentic GoPro accessory works with the knockoff. Even the underwater case, because you get a case that's got an amazing seal on it, And GoPros are good for 60 feet underwater. Now, I don't know about the knockoff. I dipped mine in my neighbor's swimming pool just to see how it would work. And it was amazing. And it would be cool for somebody like on a Florida vacation or something, scuba diving, that you could go down with that camera on a stick and film. But that's what I started off with, 2 GoPro cameras, sitting in a lawn chair in the middle of my backyard, talking about whatever. And then I have to go overboard. I probably have every accessory made for GoPro cameras. That's just the way I am. I bought a drone. And here's what really pissed me off. You download software and you use your cell phone to receive the camera signal from the drone. You have a control box to fly it, but in order to see, what's going on, you use your cell phone. The goddamn control box has a clip that comes out that you set the cell phone in. What they didn't think of is putting a rubber pad on the top of the clip and on the control head. Because when I put my cell phone in it, as soon as I go to fly the drone, the fucking cell phone flies out of the goddamn clip. So it pissed me off, and I bought a second drone. This controller has a built-in screen. I don't need a cell phone. I have 2 drones. I've yet to fly either one, but I have 2. I'm going to give the other one, I think, to my neighbor kid down the street and tell him, here, you figure out how to keep a goddamn cell phone in that controller. Here, have a drone. I bought it off of Temu. I think it was $20 for the first one. I paid $75 for the second one because it's a better quality. Has the screen built in. It came with 2 batteries. It flies longer. I've yet to fly. Well, I flew it once. I set it on the floor, and I hit takeoff. And it bounced out of each corner of the room, off the light fixture, back into a corner, off the light fixture again, and then hit the floor. And I was like, oh, fuck, I destroyed it. And it wasn't hurt. Not even a chip in the fan blade. And this thing's got 4 motors on it. It's in the case. I will try it outside as soon as the weather gets a little better. That way when it takes off, it won't hit nothing. Be my luck, it'll go up, it'll hit a plane, get sucked into the engine. Oh! I knew there was something I wanted to talk about yesterday. You know, everybody has to do these stupid fucking balloon launches. You know, for birthdays, funerals, weddings. Oh, I've got to do a balloon launch. Stupidest thing on earth. You know, you got 47 people standing. Okay, you know, happy birthday, Jimmy. Pfft. For what you spent on the balloons, why don't you buy Jimmy a gift? I was watching a YouTube channel that is done by a pilot. He flies for a major airline. Okay? He said the other day he was coming in for a landing at an airport. He was at 2,000 feet. And he said a huge bunch of mylar balloons, bounced off the nose of the plane. He said, had those gone over by the wing, they would have been ingested by one of the engines and shut the fucking engine down. People don't think when you're launching 10 or 15 mylar balloons, what's up there? Aircraft. Would you want to be responsible for a fucking plane crash because you had to launch some balloons? Yeah, he said they come up in front of the windscreen and went over the top. And he had his fingers crossed that he wasn't going to lose an engine. Luckily, they went over the top of the plane. Because he said, had he ingested them balloons, he would have lost an engine. And people do this shit every day. Oh, let's launch some balloons. And I watched a couple of videos where, you know, it was at a funeral. Why do you need to do balloon launches at a goddamn funeral? And I'm not talking, you know, one little helium balloon. Everybody had to have at least 5 or 8 or 10 of them big goddamn mylar balloons. Well, you ever stop and think maybe you're in a flight pattern and them suckers are going up and up and up? No, nobody stops and thinks that you could be responsible for bringing down a goddamn Boeing 737 because you had to launch some balloons. I've always said, if you're going to do a memorial like that for a funeral, go and order doves. Launch a dove. A living memory to the person. And a wonderful living memory. And what's a dove? A pigeon with, you know, better bloodline. I've seen it done at weddings. They're not that expensive. And it's a living, and it's not going to go get caught in a jet engine. Yeah, I couldn't believe the pilot said. This big group of Mylar balloons almost could have caused him, well, like he said, basically, he was coming in for a landing. You can land with one engine. But would you want to be responsible for knocking out probably $500,000 goddamn jet engine? I tend to think jet engines aren't cheap. Yeah, he said him and his co-pilot, they're flying along, and all of a sudden, he said, what were those? And the co-pilot said, I think they were balloons. And then he says, we didn't ingest them, did we? They were watching, he said, we're watching the engines. Nope. Whew. Although they could have landed with one. You know, if you're going to do a balloon launch, do one little helium balloon, you know. You don't need them big goddamn 24 by 24 inch Mylar balloons. They don't leak, they don't leak helium as fast as the little ones. You know, little ones go up about 1,000 feet. Them Mylar ones just keep going and going and going. I've heard some cities it's illegal to do a balloon launch. I really think they need to do some serious study on this to see if there have been any jet engines that have ingested these things. Call your pet shop, you know. Say, I'd like to order 8 or 10 doves. I've been at a wedding where they've done it. I thought it was cool. They handed everybody a bird. Here. I'm thinking, yeah, this would make a better sidekick than what I've got. Oh, shit, I gotta let it go. It was as docile as could be. You know, I'm holding it. It's looking around like, what are you gonna do? And everybody, see ya. Sidekick. Matter of fact, I didn't know what to... She reached in the box and, here, what are you handing me? Oh, it's a pigeon. And she went, it's a dove. Oh, okay. You're a dove? You look like a white pigeon. You want to be my sidekick? I gotta let it go. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you shit on my head, you goddamn. It was neat. I think they had like 20 of them. I don't know what they paid for them, but she said it wasn't outrageous. And she just called her local pet store and said, we have a wedding in 2 weeks or whatever. We'd like some doves. Okay. Here they are. Here's your doves. Looks like a pigeon to me. Okay. I think that would be a lot better way to say goodbye to a friend than a balloon. I really wanted to bring it home. I'm holding that thing. It's clucking away, making dove noises. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it. I thought maybe they'd fight to get away. None of them. Just matter of fact, they said, "Here, when I hand it to you, put the feet between your fingers, and then just hold it gently." Okay. And it's while everybody had to read their, tribute to the bride and the groom, and I'm holding this thing. But it stayed there. It didn't fight to get away. And then they said on the count of 3, I wanted to duck it in my coat. Okay. And away they went. I always wondered where it went. Are you going to come back and see me? Will I see you like out in my backyard eating out of the bird feeder? No? Okay. I'm not going to have you for dinner? Okay. Yeah, that's what everybody calls them. Rats with wings. And what's amazing? How fast they grow. There was a pigeon. I couldn't believe it. It made a nest in the corner of the parking garage at the hospital. So every day I would park in that same spot and check on it. Now, they hadn't hatched yet. She was sitting on the eggs. The eggs hatched. She had 3. And it was like, I would say, 2 weeks. They were like full grown. I was like, holy shit, how fast do them things grow? And that's why you never really see pigeon chicks, because they grow at a remarkable rate. And had I not watched them daily, it was like they hatched, and 2 weeks later, they were gone. And then of all, the weird places for that pigeon to make a nest. In the corner of the parking garage. You would think she would have nested up on one of the beams. No, on the ground. Which I was like, you could get attacked there. You're kind of stupid for making a net, although nobody ever said pigeons were smart. But I watched from hatching. Now, it could have been longer, but it seemed like 2 weeks. And they were like full size. Like hummingbirds. It's amazing how fast they grow. My neighbor put me on a website with hummingbirds. And I could not believe how fast hummingbirds and pigeons, they grow at a remarkable fast rate. But yeah, everybody always says, pigeons, They're flying rats. But when you come down to it, a dove looks like a pigeon, except it's all white. At least these were all white. What's the difference between a pigeon and a dove? They're all from the same family. Although, we get mourning doves here. And I love their song. Mourning doves have the neatest. It's not like, you know, they have a beautiful song. They nest in the backyard. And they look better than pigeons. In the tree out front, I had 3 robin nests. And it's fun watching them grow too. The one nest, she had 2. Now, 2 nests had 2, and the one nest had 3. And I watched all 3 of them. Mourning doves you call rain crows? I've never heard that term, a rain crow. Although you have some different birds than we have here. I'm trying to think. I've seen National Geographic had a thing on birds across the United States. And it's interesting how certain areas of the country have different birds. Like, I don't think you got sparrows down there, do you? Those are the most irritating goddamn birds. That and starlings. Oh, God, I hate them things. Now up here, you know, we got Cardinals and Blue Jays. Although I haven't seen a Blue Jay lately. Oh, yeah. I like they have a very interesting call. Hey, Wyatt's here. How you doing, buddy? How you feeling? A little better today? Headache finally go away? Yeah, I got my test results today. Nothing to be concerned about. Matter of fact, in the report it said there was no real need for the exam. But my doctor, I feel a weak pulse. I think he just wanted to make some more money for the hospital. Here, send him here, send him there, send him here. Still got that fucking headache, huh? I feel sorry for you, buddy. I really do. Having a goddamn lingering headache, man, that drives you crazy. How the hell do you sleep? Probably not well. Probably joined me like my insomnia. And you know, I refuse to take sleeping medication. I'll put up with the goddamn insomnia. I'm medicated enough. You know, sooner or later you draw a line and say, that's it. Like, you know, my blood pressure was a touch high. A touch. I said, I ain't taking no goddamn blood pressure medication. So I take a low-dose aspirin every day. Brought it down. I take my blood pressure every morning. There's the chart every day. I log it. Pages of blood pressure every morning. I got a neat little machine though. Walmart, $9. Nice little case. Only thing is it takes batteries, but goes right around your wrist. Every morning. Oh, shut up. I hit the on button. Every morning. Takes a few minutes. I actually have two. I got one that's rechargeable and this one. I like this one a little better. The other one fucking talks to you, and I can't figure out how to shut the goddamn thing up. I'm reading the damn instructions. And it says to turn the voice off, turn it on, and as you turn it on, hit the little voice symbol. It won't fucking shut off. I have done everything. So I quit using it. Because it pisses me off. Talks to you. And it'll go like, what the hell? Your systolic blood pressure is 120 inches of mercury pressure or some shit like that. And then at the end it'll say, your blood pressure is considered normal. I don't need a machine to talk to me in the morning. But I can't shut it off. You would think when they ship these things, they would have the voice off. And if you wanted to talk to you, hit talk. No. The voice is on, and it won't shut off per the instructions. So I quit using it. I ordered the other one. That one don't talk. except it takes batteries. All right. I buy AA batteries off of eBay. I get 24 for like $4. Okay. I'll change batteries. No big deal. But I would rather have it rechargeable. But the rechargeable one talks back to me, and I don't like it. Yeah, mercury pressure. I never heard of that mercury pressure bullshit. You're 120 inches of mercury pressure. Mercury? Oh, that's bad for you. No wonder it won't shut off. Oh, I could never do it with a goddamn stethoscope and all that. Matter of fact, I've got 4 machines, really. I've got a big one that has an air pump in it, and you put the cuff on, and you hook the line in, and you hear the air. And too much bullshit, hooking the airlines up, all that. So I bought the wrist cuff one, and I love it. I pop it on in the morning. I hit the button. I sit here, wait till it's done, look at it, write it down, shut it off, put it back in the case. The doctor's nurse told me, when you get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, empty your bladder, she said. Then sit down, take your blood pressure. I don't know what a full bladder does to your blood pressure. So I get up in the morning, I take a leak, come in, cuff, button, done. Write it down, shut it off, put it in the case. Then go get my coffee and take my multitude of pills. Now, one doctor I go to, all the other ones, they come in with the machine. By one doctor, his nurse likes doing it manually. I'll have to sit down when she puts a cuff on and pumps it up. She's the only nurse that I've ever had that does it manual. All the others rely on the goddamn machine. They wheel in the machine, they hook you up, push the button, done. She told me that she feels she gets a truer reading doing it manually. Now, there is a difference between the 2 machines I've got. They're both the wrist cuff. The one that talks to me, the blood pressure always seems to be higher. I tried them side by side one day. I took blood pressure with one, took it off, put the other one on. I looked at the readings, and machine A was higher than machine B. So I thought it was just an optical seclusion. Next morning, talking machine. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know which one to trust. I use the second one because it don't talk. But the second one is always lower. I don't I don't know which machine to trust. Matter of fact, when I go see my primary care, I'm going to take them both with me. And I'm going to ask them, which of these machines do I trust? Or what I'll do, I'll ask his nurse to do it manual. And then we'll try the other two and see watch 3 different readings. But I really don't know which of these 2 cuff machines to trust. Which one's got the true reading? Because they never come out the same. I don't know if one's better or what. Like, this one would be like 130 over 80, and this one will be like 125 over 75. Which is the right? I use the other one because I don't like it talking. And it's lower. Maybe what I should do is get the old inflator machine and see what the hell the reading is with that one. Because that one blows up the cuff on your arm versus on your wrist. I don't like it because it's a pain in the ass. You take the power unit out, you have to put the cuff on, plug the line into the machine. These I just slap on and go. Maybe that one's the better one with the cuff. I don't know. I mean, it works like a charm. Got a hell of a little compressor in it, I'll say that. Put the cuff on, plug it in. Maybe I'll do that. I'll dig that machine out. And some morning I'll test all 3 and see what the hell I get for readings. Actually, yeah. What I should do when I go see my primary, I'll take the 2 machines and I'll ask her if she'll do a manual, and then we'll see what we get. Watch her tell me the talkie machine is the better one. I hate that stupid. It's got such a shitty voice, too. Sounds like a cranky old woman. Your blood pressure is... It's sitting over there in the box. I put it in the box. I didn't piss on it. I ain't going to use it. I like that one. I don't need to hear it yap at me in the morning. Your blood pressure is 130 inches of mercury pressure. Maybe that's how I shut it off. Give it a good smack. I even took it next door. I said, Marianne, what am I doing wrong? It says turn on and push voice button. She couldn't get it to shut up either. That's right. I do it for the fifth time with a rabbi. Put my Yamaha on. Oh, we don't even want to go there. Then all my friends, aren't you lonely? No, I have my cat. Keeps me company. Yeah, but a cat can't cook you breakfast. Well, neither did my ex-wife. I'm lucky to get a cup of coffee in the morning on her. I solved that problem. I bought a Keurig machine. Makes better coffee. Gee, no nomad tonight. And I wanted to tell him I figured out how to use Discord. It's nothing more than like a private chat room. That's all it is. You type in your message, hit send. Like sending a message to my favorite seller on eBay. This morning when I saw that, it just, I said, that's my luck. Jenny tells me, nobody's been interested in it. I go to buy it. Someone buys it out from under me. I couldn't believe it. I thought you were screwing with me. I really did. I thought, oh, she's messing with me. And then I looked at eBay and it was gone. I was like, I finally found somebody that has my sense of humor that's going to screw with me. And it was gone for real. How long have you had that on eBay? I still think it was one of my subscribers. We'll screw with Grumpy. We'll buy that goddamn Elvis album. Piss him off. I'm looking at my email this morning going, okay, delete that. Now what's Jenny want? Click. What? Sold. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Out of all the stuff on eBay, all the other 33s you got on eBay, and that one has to sell. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Story of my life, though. Story of my life. I'm looking at all the, because she got a bunch of albums. I'm like, Bob Marley, no. This one, no. I go down the line, Elvis, whoa, yes. I put it in I saved it so I could look at it. And I was like, well, I got to check my albums first. I should have bought it and then said I didn't like it and returned it. Oh, that would have pissed you off. I don't like this. I got this one already. Give me my money back. Goddamn eBay. Screwed me over again. Jenny, you won't believe how much shit I've lost debating. I'll find something and go, oh, I'd like to have that. Let me think about it overnight. Next morning, sold. I could go on there and go, oh, look. One snowshoe. Only one, though. They lost the other one. Well, I'll use it for a decoration. But let me think about it overnight. And then the next morning, somebody buys it. I could not believe that. Especially after Jenny goes, nobody's really asked about it. No, they didn't ask about it. They just bought it out from under me. I hope when they get it, it's warped. I hope when it gets broke in the mail. When they get it, they're like, oh, goddamn post office. Unbelievable. Just utterly unbelievable. But that's my luck. I could go to a car lot and look at a Rolls Royce and a guy say, it's been here for 6 goddamn months. I haven't had one customer. Let me think about it overnight and I'll be back in the morning. I get back in the morning and there's a guy driving out the lot with it. What? Oh yeah, the guy just walked in and bought it this morning. It's been here 6 months. Nobody's called on it. Nobody come in and look at it. Guy walked in this morning, said, I'll take it. That'll be me. Yeah. Well, I think it's outro time. My stomach's starting to feel like my throat's been cut. Okay. Don't give me a hard time. Wow. It went to the alphabetic? Ah, damn. I think since I said I was going to throw this tablet away, it's starting to cooperate. We know where right here, WDWL TV, 7 p.m. And with that, thanks everybody for popping in tonight. We had a good time. I went off the deep end like usual. And we will meet again here tomorrow night. And with that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will see you tomorrow.